Christine's asking a good question here that I bet a few of you have noticed to be a problem, but maybe not connected the dots. But Christine is asking, do you have a video about detoxing mold post-COVID? So COVID created a problem for people with chronic issues, inflammatory issues, histamine issues, because COVID triggered histamine issues with people. So people without any mold toxicity now brought on a host of symptoms related directly to increased histamine. And so when you take someone that's already primed with histamine and then they get COVID bad and their body reacts by increasing histamine more after that, your histamine issues or mast cell or multiple chemical sensitivity or chronic inflammatory response syndrome, everything seems worse. And people have the potential to confuse with their mold toxicity getting worse, confusing it with what COVID created. And that's a real problem. You know where it's a real problem is if someone moved. Imagine you were moving right in the midst of, your COVID ending and it increasing histamine sensitivity and inflammation, and you moved, you'd assume that place is moldy when it may not be. And again, that's why we test to try to make sure we understand our environment. But so number one, COVID created histamine issues. So if you're already sensitive to histamine, mast cell, multiple chemical sensitivity, everything like that, it just compounded it for some and made it worse. Number two for COVID is that it doesn't go all the way away for people. Now, no bug, no infection we get, bacterial, viral, whatever, ever goes away 100%. When you get exposed to something, it stays in your system. But God made our immune system to keep it suppressed down at a level where it's fine, right? We're a walking Rolodex of critters, of bacteria, of viruses, of parasites, of whatever, right? We've got a ton, but our immune system just keeps them in check. And that's why, totally off topic, but that's why when people get sick with Lyme or mold toxicity and they have great immunosuppression, which we can measure on the gut zoomer with the secretory IgA, all of a sudden their Epstein-Barr is reactivated, or they have cytomegalovirus, or they have multiple herpes strains becoming activated, okay? Because they're always in us, right? So the problem with COVID, number two, is that it doesn't, for a lot of people, it's hanging on and creating problems. And I've had a couple clients where their problems just didn't go away, or they got new symptoms after COVID that they never had before. I'm thinking of one specifically with a lot of cardiac issues and arrhythmias. And this is problematic because you're not necessarily relating it to COVID because you got over it and you feel like you healed from that. You're relating it to symptoms from your mold toxicity. So that's the other problem. But if you have a local energy practitioner that has a vial for it, they can muscle test you for it, see if it's still a problem. And that's something else that needs worked on. But that's a couple of the problems that came along with COVID that are affecting mold sick people.
Do you have questions about mold in your home or body? Book a consultation with Matt, aka the Mold Man, to guide your home and body to the next level of healing.